where it started from is if you have a dog that's misbehaving, don't shoot it, actually train it. And
that's how you got bit. I don't believe that book.
no,
You're standing here with a you have a dog bite on your hands.
Longtime fans of the show should be familiar with the lender formerly known as Sue Pullen, and I'm pleased to announce that she's back, fresh off a rebrand and ready to help as Sue Mackey. Sue is a certified mortgage advisor at Fairway Independent Mortgage, an equal housing lender who focuses on finding the right product for you and your needs. She has over 20 years of experience helping thousands of homeowners. Whether it's purchasing, refinancing, or even a reverse mortgage, Sue will help. Sue's licensed in 36 states now, so reach out and let Sue Mackey it happen for you. The best way to reach her is just give her a call at 520-977-7904 or in an email, spullen@fairwaymc.com. Fairway Independent Mortgage has an MLS number of 2289. Sue Mackey has an MLS number of 206048. That email again, spullen@fairwaymc.com, and that phone number is 520-977-7904. Shoot Sue an email and let her know she needs to update that address. Disclaimer time. This is where I tell everyone to lighten up. It's just a podcast. Trading is like that roller coaster at the amusement park. Thrilling, unpredictable, and potentially stomach-churning. What works for one person might leave another clutching their hat in the wind. Our hosts and guests, they're awesome, knowledgeable, full of insights, but we're not financial advisors. So don't rush to make any investment decisions based solely on our banter. Always consult with a professional or do your own research. Plus, let's face it, we like to have fun, laugh, enjoy the trading ride together. It's all in the name of good podcasting fun. So remember, take it easy, don't bet the farm, and keep your seatbelts on at all times. Thank you for listening.
Hello and welcome to the China Shop, everybody. Get your asses inside. It's fucking hot outside. We're smashing some plates and dinnerware in here. Anything goes today. It's a fire sale. How you doing? I'm Captain Dan. And with me, as always, is the amazing, inimitable Kyle. Kyle, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. What promotion did I get today?
You know what? Kyle just made first bosun's mate. It's a very little known position on the naval ships, and he's really mainly in charge of polishing the whistles.
How did you...
if you know what I'm saying.
How do you know what a bosun's mate is, first of all? And how'd you know that would actually be an insult?
Kyle,
he did say
little
polishing
secret.
the whistles.
Polishing the whistles.
Right. I mean, we did a lot of that.
I'm not going to lie, Kyle. It was
a lot of brass.
Holy shit. Yeah, Kyle, I stole your Navy
Surprise,
diary. That's how I know.
Right.
Kyle has an announcement, actually.
17 real fast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're 2 minutes in, and we've already covered guy-on-guy oral. All right, let's keep going.
Welcome back, Dan.
I'm glad I could bring a certain je ne sais quoi to the show tonight.
I was gonna ask what kind of episode we wanted this to be, but I think we've already answered that question. This is just gonna be after hours all the way.
Dan's back, so
Kyle,
hey.
to answer your question, Star Trek. That's how I knew what a bosun is, that a bosun's pipe. No, that's not Star Trek. I don't know.
Think that was
my fucking brain, my drug-addled brain came up with it.
Whew. I mean, we're coming in absolutely on fire right now.
All right, well, fucking hey, should we do some announcements first and get that out of the way?
I'm eager to hear them.
All right. I mean, Baba, you got the big one, I think.
Oh, wow, we're just jumping right in, huh?
I mean, should we just jump right in?
Yeah, just skip right
Rip
to
the
the
Band-Aid
meat.
Yeah,
off?
sure. So, it's only fitting that Kyle's here, actually. If you think about the circle of life,
You mean
right?
You mean Dan?
I mean, Dan. Sorry.
I'm Kyle.
Oh, God.
I've been here.
Kyle, you've always been here.
I'll
Dan,
never left.
Dan
One
is here.
episode, and that was really
Dan's
fun.
here. I'm here. Bear's here. Can we acknowledge? Well, no one that's listening will actually be able to see it, but your background's amazing.
Oh, thank you, dude. Yeah.
A lot of hard work, I presume, went into that.
Yeah, Laura did a lot I
Why am I not surprised?
Right? She's the one who sourced it out, so she has a new backsplash behind the stove with the offcuts.
And I was about to say, well, I didn't know which project actually was leading. You bought that much extra and turned out to.
No, it didn't take that much. Each sheet was like 10 feet long, and it's only like a 7-foot ceiling, so there's at least 3 feet on each piece.
Nice. Okay. Well, the announcement. Okay. Somebody can play the like
Taps. I don't know if I have
Yeah.
taps on here.
Uh-oh.
It's not a taps moment. It's just
not a taps
change.
moment. Here's the deal. So we have, if we go all the way back, I guess almost 3 years ago, my good friend and yours, Flary, we started a little project called U-Trade, which was a room where we were putting out some trading content, some like educational material, and trying to kind of create a community around that. And then our good friend Flary one day was like, "Hey man, I'm kind of out on this." Like he's the one that started it, and then he was like, "I just would like to take a step back." And so Banks and I were the other two people doing that with him, and he was like, "Hey, why don't you guys just pick up and run with this?" I was like, "That's fine, but like I really don't want to. I don't really like we'll rebrand this, do our own thing, whatever." So we kind of cooked up a vision, kind of an idea of what we wanted to help people accomplish, and that's how we started Vanta Trading, however you want to say it. And that was like almost 2 years ago, I guess. And when that kicked off,
God damn.
yeah, it's been a while. And so then the kind of most people that are listening to this probably know, but just for the sake of like whatever, I mean, we just over here just hanging out anyways. So, the gist of that was like, hey, we'll trade together like in the mornings. We'll do some like town hall open forum discussions. I'll do some longer form content on some of the things that I utilize to trade with. And we'll really try to help. The goal was to expedite people's progress. So you take someone who's trading, who's kind of hitting the same hurdles as everyone else. Let's try to expedite that process for them to get where they're trying to get to, which usually is some measure of profitability, by helping them avoid some of the common mistakes and also some of the like reoccurring issues that a lot of people experience, because myself and Banks have both been through that. I lost, a lot of money and traded like poo for a long time, and finally got it all somewhat sorted. And so we just thought, that'd be great. And it'll kind of fly in the face of like the flashy Lambo lifestyle kind of vibes that most people that do this try to do, because I'm a regular guy with a normal family and a normal house, and I drive a Toyota Tundra, not a Lamborghini. And, my daughter says Lamborghini, by the way, not Lamborghini. So
it's a horse.
She's 5. And anyways, so it's not like the room was a failure necessarily. There were some positives from that. There have been some positives from that. But I am finding myself a little bit conflicted, because I feel like there's an expectation for me to provide, content, information, to be available. And like I also feel the desire to take full advantage of the flexibility and freedom that this whole thing affords me, not the room, but like my trading. And so it has come to, it's just, I feel like people that are paying deserve more of like my time and effort and energy. And I don't feel like I want to give any more of that, to be honest. I've greatly enjoyed like our one-on-ones with traders, where they fill out the trader eval, like that worksheet, that 8-page document, and then we review that with them. And like, I think that has been really profitable. I think I had dreamed that like somehow that would grow into like longer relationships, but there was no strings attached. So a lot of those were like 1 to 2 touch points, and then that person is, doing their own thing, which is fine. Like we did that for free for anyone. But just, it's kind of like, what do I want to really sink my teeth into over the next 6 months to a year? And I don't think like marketing and doing trade videos with cool music behind them, like I've done a little bit, and it makes them want to die. Like I'm not into that. And I'd much rather just be on a call with a couple people. I enjoy their company and I appreciate their perspective. And every so often we'll all, be on together. but no one's looking to me to like, oh, he's not going to be there. Then I got to text somebody and try to get them to cover because I'm actually going to go like all the school. Like I don't want to feel
awards.
guilty for going to all these award ceremonies for my 5 children, which that's a lot of award ceremonies. Or like when we had like Special Olympics for my son. I mean, there's just a lot of things that I want to go do and not think anything about like trying to work stuff out. And then we're coming into the summer, and I want to be able to have that freedom. And so we're going to officially, like we've already paused memberships, but we're going to officially like close that paid side. We'll still have a room. It'll still be like my home base. I'll still be on some amount of time to hang out and trade.
No more commitment.
But the commitment of like every morning, 9:15, I'm going to get on, do pre-market work, and then I'm going to trade for 2 hours with everyone, which hasn't really happened as much in the last month as probably people would expect. I just feel like it's time. I'm not unavailable to like talk about stuff. I'm not unavailable to go over something with someone with regards to their trading or their process. Or I benefited from people doing that for me. I'm never going to just be like a closed book and not available. But I also don't want to. I would rather that be a more altruistic venture to just give back in a way than to it be tied to like a room. And I'm just so, the last thing, and then I'll stop talking. I'm so over like the trading influencer, 90% win rate in 5 minutes, all the secrets unlocked. Like I'm just I am too closely associated with that whole world, and I hate it completely. And I think I would like to just reclaim my freedom and also my ability to just say whatever I want about that whole space without being in any way tied to it, because it's a little wonky if I'm like, oh, these guys all suck, they're idiots, and then come join my room, it's better. It's like I can't really. That's kind of awkward. So definitely like the core group of guys that's in there all the time. There's nothing negative or nothing,
it's not
against
going away.
Anybody.
It's not going away.
It's not.
Either.
Yeah.
It's just there's not going to be any more commitments from any of the members.
Look,
right?
the room's not playing a Dan. It's not just disappearing on y'all.
No, it's not gonna just disappear into
once
the sunset.
Every 6 months we'll get together.
and we've also like we have, just for the sake, like we have kicked around ideas like like on Fridays, like a couple of Fridays we've had done some like guest trading stuff where we've joined up with other people and traded together, or even like we join in our room and then give them the floor. They share screen. They talk about their specific process. I think there's a lot of benefit to some of that cross-pollination of process and style that could just be enjoyable, meet other traders. But to like, again, to be, every morning,
to be honest with you, I've been not wanting to have so much in my ears too lately. I've been kind of struggling with that a little bit. Just having too many voices in my ears, and I feel like
you should be mainly listening to me.
Oh, yes. True.
I'm just kidding.
Just mute everybody else except for Baba. That's all you need to do.
Right.
And let me and so I will say this also. My trading, this is not in any way like tied to performance. If I were going to quit because things were not going well, it would have been last January, February, or March when things were actually not going well. And it was like, I'm about ready to just break everything at my desk every day. Things have like this year has been really great actually. And I think the only negative of trading that I would say has slightly influenced this decision has been that there's countless times where I come to the desk only because we have people in the room, because I've already traded either overnight or early AM session, and I would otherwise be completely disengaged from the charts at that point due to where I am in my my target for the day. And there have been a number of days that I've stayed at the charts for the morning, and then, random chance, whatever, it's been a terrible morning where we get small rotations. It's grindy. It's not my deal. But I would feel awkward because of the number of times I would come in and be like, well, I'm kind of already done for the day. Like, I feel like that just sound like in the world of like trader guide, that just sounds like a cop out,
Well,
and I didn't like that. So I would come to the desk and I would still try to be a participant in trade. But in my back of my mind, I'm like, why am I even doing this? Like, I'm really already done. And so in that sense, it became hard to model the type of behavior from that standpoint that I typically would model day in and day out. So that was another little piece of it. Like, no one wants to hear me sit down and be like, I've made 500 points a day. I really don't need to do anything else. Like, that just, they're like, oh, well, of course, this guy.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in and bragging right before we're all about to start our day. Yeah.
So that's it. So
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's going to still be something going in there. I'm going to figure out what that looks like as far as how that goes. But there'll probably be some sort of podcast support plan, something where you can join, support the podcast.
We'll definitely have an option for people to, let's say somebody's like, I'd love to I love the podcast. I love hanging out. I'd love to just,
look, still send money.
Yes.
But we're not showing up every day.
Gotcha. Exactly.
It's
just going to be less.
Don't send as much, but
I think that's whatever. I don't know. Kyle's going to figure that out, and that's on him. If he can get people to do that, then that's awesome.
No, dude, it'll be like $1. You join for $1, and then you can whatever, just something to help pay for the website.
And I do wonder if doing that will actually create like more opportunity for people to engage if we're on the shop side, not behind a paywall, like maybe a little more often. Or if like those Fridays don't, or whatever day when we're like, hey, on Tuesday this week we're gonna have guys from Trade Pro Academy, we're all gonna trade together, come join up. Like, since it will be a little less of the same thing all the time, if those won't be a little more special and a little more enjoyable, a little more well attended, more appreciated, that kind of thing. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, I'm not going away, but I'm leaving for vacation on Sunday.
He is going away.
I'm going to be gone for a week. So.
Wow.
Wow, man, it's taking a weird turn.
Actually,
why is this the show I'm back for? What is happening?
And that's why we have you here tonight, Dan. I'm trying to follow in your footsteps. I'm leaving tonight. Sunday. I'm coming to meet up with you, big dog.
There you go. Fantastic.
So, now that we got the tearjerker announcement
now that that's
out of the way,
off our chest.
I think Baba was right. You should have played taps. Jeez.
Yeah, that's it. I'm a goner. I'm washed up.
That's what editing is for.
I know. Right?
There you go.
We'll do it in post.
The saddest thing I have is Ode to Flary.
Oh.
Oh God.
You know what someone said though? What's funny about this too is someone said, well, I hate to hear that the room's going away, but I bet your trading goes up by like 50%. Well, if that's the case, we should have done that a long time ago. We'll see. I'll report back.
That's tough. I mean, what you are doing is basically selling an obligation on your time and really kind of forcing yourself and painting yourself into a corner. So I'm kind of glad to see you give yourself an opportunity to walk away.
Well, the other thing is do what? Go ahead, Kyle.
It sounded like you're just kind of losing the whole benefit of trading is to have the flexibility, and then now you're married to the screen outside of the time after you've already done the trading that's supposed to free up that time. That can get frustrating too.
Yeah, that, and I mean, we never set out to do the room to like make tons of money, but like it would be in the less than 1 R what has been returned, it's just,
is it on par with FTX?
I don't know. FTX, which
that's still
too soon, man.
Too soon. Sorry.
Oh yeah, FTX. Yeah. Come on, that cost me a lot of money. And time, Kyle. No, I
I
mean,
know,
yeah, it's just
sorry.
like it's
Time
not
more than money.
in the nicest way possible. Unless you're gonna like sell your soul to do that, I just don't know if it's worth it. Unless you have a really big following, and there's some people that do it right. Like I think Pax does a great job. I've never been in his room, but I respect him. When I was going full time, he took time to talk to me. I appreciated that, but yeah, I don't know. It's really just not worth. It's not worth the time at this point.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things I've learned, I think it's related to this from Pat's, is there's a lot of days where the price action just sucks, and it's not worth trading. And literally, the best thing you can tell people to do is turn off your freaking computer and leave.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like today.
Today was I thought today was kind of a banger, honestly.
Yeah, I mean the opening was interesting, and then we just sat there and did nothing for an hour and a half, and then it was like, oh, news! All right, yay, Vixen's great again.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the close was just like, what the f is going on?
Well,
What happened? I
But-
didn't even see the close.
I was playing golf. I have no idea what the
Yeah,
close
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
I think I quit watching after about 1:00.
smart. That was a smart thing to do.
Dan, what were
I-
you about to say?
Yeah.
There?
I was gonna say, I'm not trading anymore actively. I'm doing the get rich slow, like investment,
Yeah.
slow building. And I found I was forcing myself to get up really early because I'm in Nevada. So I was like waking up stupid early to try and get the bell. I
The
was
6:30 a.m. bell.
right. And I was making dumb mistakes. And then I would like shit on myself mentally for not performing up
Mm.
to expectations because in completely sidestepping the fact that, like, I mean, you don't perform well when you're fucking half awake. But
Unless you're Purdue.
unless you're Purdue, right? Not everybody's there. So maybe some people
Yeah.
it helps them. For me, it wasn't. But just like finally accepting, like, Dan, you're not in the geographic location that's going to be good for your market opening strategy, right? I was doing the high low of the overnight.
Mhm.
And B, like my heart wasn't in it. Like Baba's saying today, like he's finding his family is starting to take over his thoughts more than the trading room. Like, right? I got married. I'm in Vegas. I'm having fun. My heart wasn't in it anymore. And
Yeah.
like, I don't know if I'll ever get back to day trading again, but I'm honestly a lot happier in my life not trying to push myself to day trade because of, oh, well, we got a podcast, so I gotta keep up on the trading,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Better do it, right? Like without that around anymore, like yeah, I I think it was a big win, and my portfolio has been growing steadily instead of I was never great at it, right? It'd be up and then down, and then up and then down, and up and then, the roller coaster's over, everybody, for me.
Yo, you said swing trading though. You found more success with that. Is that more to your
No, I have more success with passive,
buy
just
and hold?
buy it and forget.
Mhm.
Every time I've swing traded, it starts out really great. And then I'm like, and then I get back to that same greedy mentality that tanked my day trading. And I'm like, oh, I know what I'm doing now. I don't have to research. I don't have to use a bracket. Brackets are for fucking
Oh,
suckers.
no.
I'm going to
Stocks are
buy me some triple
lame.
U puts. Yeah, no. Right. And I found myself making all the same stupid mistakes the minute I start making money again, swing trading. So I
Mhm.
had to take a step back and be like, Dan, what the fuck are you doing? You know what works for you? Just fucking put the money in and buy your set of stocks, right? Like, go ahead, buy your Rocket Labs. But I got my bundle of stocks that I like that I did some
Right,
research way
right.
back when and then forgot about. ETFs are probably safest, but that get rich slow has been working for me, and and I feel better about myself doing it too. Like the highs and lows, like I
Dude,
could never get past the negative self-talk.
that is one of the hardest things about this game. Is I think Baba is the first person to really point out to me like the toll that even if you have a 40% win rate, which is pretty good for
Yeah.
day trader, that means you're still wrong 60% of the time, and that takes a pretty hard toll on you mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
the swinger lifestyle is a little easier, but not nearly as easy as the buy and hold.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, buy and now that's the advice I give people when I talk to them. I'm like, just buy and hold.
It's
Like
so much
the
easier.
if just stop killing yourself. I've got one of my employees is really into trading, and I catch him with his Robinhood app open all the time. And all I do is he'll start talking and talking and talking. I'm like, yeah, good luck, man. Good luck.
Yeah.
Have fun. I buy and hold.
95%,
Right.
95% of people don't have the personality to have the patience to learn
Yeah.
trading.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it was really hard for me to accept that I don't think I have the personality to be long-term successfully at day trading, right?
Right.
Like it's really hard to admit. I feel like the kid on the playground who's like finally has to admit, you know what, Dan, you're not good enough at basketball to beat the fucking other team from the other school when they come over. Like you need to fucking sit on the sidelines and be a cheerleader because if you're the fucking point guard, you're gonna miss that three every fucking time you're in the clutch.
You and I are 5'8". We are
Yeah,
not making JV.
right,
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 yeah.
right. I'm just not the guy.
If there's a
Be
StarCraft
the
league, I think we
guy.
would have killed that.
You will fear my
Sports,
Zerg
man.
rush.
Right.
Zug.
Bear, what happened to your arm?
Oh, that's a fun story. I was working with a rescue dog last night, and I earned it. I was trying to catch the rescue dog that got away, and it went running past me, and I instinctively tried to grab it, and it said, "Oh, no, don't do that." Yeah,
You
I
gently
felt that. I'm
reminded you?
like, yeah, no, it's like as the dog's like coming at me, I like go to grab it, and I'm like, I feel this is really dumb. Ah, oh, yeah, that was dumb.
Ooh, how many stitches?
No stitches.
Okay, that's not too bad.
No stitches. Yeah, I was just a couple hours ago. I actually went into the hospital and let the doctors look at it, and they're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna wash it out.
That
And
doesn't get the dog in trouble, does it?
no, really, I have to quarantine the dog for 10 days.
Okay.
So
I know a lot of times.
I would have just told him my wife did it.
I don't
that's a different kind of a police report.
Shit got out of hand, man.
But no, I mean, so the fun part about living in a small county is, there's like 20 deputies, and I know pretty much all of them because of my work in fire and EMS, and
Mm.
so I had to call. Okay, quick, long story short. Long story short. So I've got this situation. I didn't sleep last night because my arm got chomped on and it hurt like mother trucker. Did not sleep. Got up at 3 a.m. because the wound was still oozing and wrapped it up tight and went back to bed. Got a few hours of sleep. So get through my morning meetings with the office, and I'm like, "Hey guys, I'm going to the fucking hospital." So I walk down to water the chickens before I go to the hospital because I don't know how long I'm going to be gone, and it's hot out.
yeah.
And there's two strange dogs in my chicken pen, and my chickens are all dead.
What?
I'm like,
Oh
oh, God.
Oh.
No more free
So
eggs.
I'm like, oh no, these were baby chicks. They were
Aw,
good
that's even
2
worse.
3 months from 2 3 months from being able to lay eggs. So now I'm starting dealing with that. I call back the Humane Society who I've been working with. Know them well too. Um, like, yeah, you have to call the sheriff's office so the deputy can come out and come report, and then we'll try to figure out and ID the dog. So the deputy comes out, and it's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? Blah blah blah." We know each other, and it's like, yeah, okay, cool. And so we get the information on the dogs, do the report, and he's looking at my arm, and I'm like, yeah. And it goes, this is what happened, blah blah blah. And I was like, I'm headed over to the local hospital, and he goes, oh well, they'll have to call me to do a report. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'll let you. I'll send you a text message when I'm on the way. He's like, okay. So
Hmm.
How many people
yes,
are in the town that you live in
Yeah,
there?
right? Yeah.
so there's
200?
well, I don't live in. I'm 4 miles outside of town now. Town is like 600 people.
Wow,
There's
okay.
there's
Wow.
there's 10,000
Wow.
people in the whole county.
Wait, okay,
Okay.
where in Montana are
Wow.
you at again? Dan, do you remember we drove through Montana
We did.
when I was moving from Seattle to Virginia?
Yeah, you
Yes.
wouldn't. You wouldn't have driven through my county unless you were going to Yellowstone.
We were supposed to, but it was dark when we went through, so we just kept going. We ended up just
Yeah, we
making
were
it
gonna
one
hit
shot.
Yellowstone, but it was at night. Yeah.
We were gonna do the Badlands. We were gonna do Cedar
Oh,
Point. We were gonna do all
Badlands is
kinds of
fun.
stuff, and then everywhere we got, it was dark, so we just kept going. I think we did the
Well,
drive in
let's
42
keep trying.
hours.
Well, then, yeah, eventually it became like, wait, how fast can we drive coast to coast? We're doing this? Let's fucking do this. Let's do it.
By the end, there was like every
Yeah.
2 hours we're having to stop to swap out to sleep.
I
Oh yeah, no. I mean, when I moved from Virginia back to Montana, it took 4 trips pulling a 16-foot trailer.
Oh my
And
god, that's a
oh,
brutal.
and
oof,
it's 2,000 miles
oof.
almost exactly from where I was at in Virginia to central Montana, and I had it down to 48 hours. It's like
Oof.
basically,
By
yeah,
yourself?
by myself. Yeah, I
No
would
shit.
just basically I
Oh.
would drive. I'd do field stops and I would drive, and I knew which rest stops I liked. And basically, it's like
Yeah, right, right.
when I got tired, I just slide into a rest stop, curl up in the backseat of the truck, take a nap for 2, 4, 6 hours, get up and start
Yep.
driving again.
I don't think my neck can handle
Oh.
that anymore. I can't sleep in a rest stop like
Yeah,
that.
it
I
was
used
a
to.
it was a full size truck. I stretched out pretty good. I'm short.
Right.
So
Nah.
Bobby, you're not a
Wow.
driver? Don't like the driving trips?
I don't. I'd rather drive than fly most of the times. But dude, there's no way I would make 4 of the same 2,000-mile trip with a
In a
no,
truck?
that's-
Yeah, no,
2,000
thank you.
miles each way. No,
No, thank
and
you.
pulling a 16-foot trailer.
Yeah, no.
Well,
No,
not
thank
so
No,
you.
you
bad.
drive there,
Not so
make
bad when it's
you
empty,
drive
but
there, drive back, do an oil change. Drive there, drive back, do an oil change.
Yeah.
nah, diesel,
Yeah.
diesel. I didn't change the oil
Okay,
till I was
well,
done.
there's no chance I wouldn't do that.
Dan, Baba's been sending me pictures of Chris Delisle asking me if that's you.
Oh my God. Oh my
It
God.
looks
Okay.
so much like you. Oh my! I wish it was a
All
different
right.
person though.
So I'm doing shows again here in Vegas. Like,
Are
so
you?
I do shows every weekend. Yeah, I'm the Mad Hatter in an Alice in Wonderland show.
Cool.
Um,
Nice.
and I've been getting it's weird. I'm a type. And so people are like, "Oh my God, you look like Christy Elia. Oh my God, you look like that guy Jake Johnson from New Girl. Oh my God, you look like what the fuck? There's this other guy I can't remember. He's not a big name. And then just the other day, somebody told me the guy from the Monkees, fucking Davy Jones. I was like, stop it! I don't look like any of these people. But actually, I agree with you.
Wow.
Chris D'Elia, I actually see the resemblance. I seen him, and
It's-
I was like, is that guy one of my brothers? Holy shit!
I was trying to deny it, but it looks.
It's listen. I don't care how anybody feels about him. We're all adults here. All right, I don't know, man. Some of the mannerisms, your smile is massive, and so is
Yeah,
his.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's the exact same, dude. And then I've always felt like all the way back to the Two Bull days, like the Kyle. I mean the Dan. Like "Wah!" like the explosion of like whatever comes out. It's unbelievable, and it's so similar. Like I could see you doing that, like someone interrupting you and just being like, "Oops, oops." Like, I mean, dude. See, I was saying a sentence that wasn't finished yet. Like I mean, I don't know you that well, but God, I feel like you would just murder someone with that.
Well, thank
Rightly
you. I
so.
think.
Yeah.
So they teach you in
I mean,
improv
yeah,
class
it's the thing.
how to riff with that one. 'Cause that's the thing I've never
Uh,
learned is how to take a compliment in stride.
How to take a compliment in stride?
Yeah.
Um, ooh, yeah. I mean, shit. Taking a compliment in stride. It's just like anything with improv. It's just yes ending. You accept the compliment and then you top it with something ridiculous.
Like how much
I
better
don't know.
you are at everything else.
Pivot.
If you want to build your ego, I think it works a lot better if you're more
Self-deprecating.
self-deprecating. Absolutely.
More British style, yeah. More,
Look at like Dean Martin back in the day.
God, Toast of London. What was that guy? Matt Berry. That's the other one I
Matt
think
Berry. Oh, I love that guy.
I feel like Matt
Oh,
Berry.
shit.
Oh,
Matt Berry. No, I was just saying I got accused of somebody else said you look and sound like Matt Berry. She was actually like an Instagram influencer and she was like, I really need to get you doing some Matt Berry quotes. So out there on Instagram and TikTok somewhere is me going, Why, yes, my name is Jackie Daytona. I'm from Tucson, Arizona. I'm just a normal human bartender.
But that dude weighs like 100 pounds
Yeah,
more than
but
He
you.
look at
does.
his
He
look at
does.
his career path. He was a musician for years. That song that you hear on TikTok all the time, the "Take My Hand" one, that's his song. That guy did that.
Yeah, that Barry.
He was
No,
I
no,
mean,
no. I'm about to
phenomenal in
go into
IT
corporate
crowd.
speaking, Kyle. I'm not going to be on TV.
History isn't just boring names and dates. It's weird, messy, and full of what were they thinking moments. The Buck Starts Here dives into the financial fiascos, questionable deals, and outright chaos that helped build America, $1 at a time. We mix in serious history from a fresh perspective, real, deep dives into the numbers and the moments that shaped the country, without the boring lecture. From presidential blunders to almost states, and the time an international war almost started over a pig, we break down the key events that made, and nearly broke, the nation. It's the fascinating, untold history you won't find in the textbooks. Subscribe to the Buck Starts Here podcast for a deeper look at presidential history that's anything but dull.
Longtime fans of the show should be familiar with the lender formerly known as Sue Pullen, and I'm pleased to announce that she's back, fresh off a rebrand and ready to help as Sue Mackey. Sue is a certified mortgage advisor at Fairway Independent Mortgage, an equal housing lender who focuses on finding the right product for you and your needs. She has over 20 years of experience helping thousands of homeowners. Whether it's purchasing, refinancing, or even a reverse mortgage, Sue will help. Sue's licensed in 36 states now, so reach out and let Sue Mackey it happen for you. The best way to reach her is to just give her a call at 520-977-7904 or in an email, spullen@fairwaymc.com. Fairway Independent Mortgage has an MLS number of 2289. Sue Mackey has an MLS number of 206048. That email again, spullen@fairwaymc.com, and that phone number is 520-977-7904. Shoot Sue an email and let her know she needs to update that address. Corporate speaking.
I'm gonna be a corporate speaker. I'm not even kidding you.
Really?
Absolutely.
oh, dude, I can get
Absolutely.
the one I can get lost for hours watching clips on X or the few Netflix specials is Matt Rife.
Matt Wright, I don't think I've heard of him.
Oh, I like digested him, and now I feel like he just does the same thing over and over. It's like kind of one trick. I thought he was funny at
I've never
first,
seen him.
but
Oh,
he's funny.
What does he do?
Yeah, he works the audience. Like every show is completely different because he just picks
Oh, it's
random
all
audience
crowd work?
members, and it's all crowd work.
Hmm.
Um,
Is it good at like
Wow.
Jimmy Carr? Or
just we're riffing on improv and some of that,
what
and
was his
taking
name again?
compliment and
Say that
stuff.
again.
Matt Rife,
Matt Rife,
R-I-F-E.
R-I-F-E.
Yeah.
Jinx.
Like rifle, but without the L.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, he's a pretty dude.
And like doormat, but an extra T. He's like if
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie was a guy.
Pretty.
Oh. Am I
Jeff?
wrong? Come on.
No, you're right.
Flat chested and flannels. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Damn.
That sounds like a calendar that needs to be made.
Angelina
you know,
Jolie
I'll
and
take a
flannel.
look.
Oh God, you should see.
Not Angelina Jolie in flannel. You just flat chested in flannel. That's
You should see the
hilarious.
calendar that Ray sent me. It's it's Baron von Buff is the guy's name. It's some character this guy made. He's a local artist, and he just draws this character of this dude just shirtless and like weird poses, and the whole calendar is full of like random holidays. Like Sunday is National Hug a Cat Day, I think was the one I remember seeing. It's just like 365
Wow.
days of that.
Oh my.
God damn.
Actually, we got Ray coming back on Buck Starts Here on, I think, Wednesday. We're supposed to record with her. We're doing another presidential portrait episode with her.
Yeah,
Yeah, she is
I
phenomenal
opened
last time we
Discord.
had her on.
she's fucking great, man.
Ah,
Ray,
I had
you
listened
could
to
just-
her, and you did
oh, yeah.
that one episode with her.
That was
way back
dude,
when.
way back. The conspiracy shit I was trying to start.
Yeah,
It didn't
yeah.
work out. Yeah. Yeah. She's amazing. Yeah. Anytime you get Ray talking, it's a good time.
Are you gonna bring back Half Cocktails ever?
Yes. Yes, I very much. Well, I might. What I've been trying to do is set it up. I'm going to focus on fact checking time as like a game show, and I'm going to kind of do it as a man on the street on the
No.
Vegas Strip.
You gotta be careful with that
So
stuff these days, though. Klepper has to have bodyguards now. I don't know if the guy from the Daily Show that does all the MAGA events that he
yeah,
goes
but I'm
to.
not trying to be insightful. I really
Oh,
want
okay,
a middle
okay.
of the road game show, right? Like
That'd
I
be boring.
really,
No, I'm just kidding.
I want. No, it's. Hey, I don't think fact checking time's boring.
No, it's all. I loved it when I was playing it.
There's see, and the trick is you just stay away from the political fact checks,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Like that's all.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I want to bring that back. But honestly, right now I'm setting up my new website. I'm gonna do corporate speaking to teach improv as customer service, right?
Interesting.
It's what I teach my crew here in Vegas, and it
Yeah.
works really well. And it just comes from like, hey, Dan, how did you climb the ladder so well in your own career? And it was like, oh, being really good at customer service in hotels. And like, how did I do that? Well, it's basically improv, right? Like, yeah, so I'm setting up.
Huh.
I'm going to start charging businesses a stupid amount of money to have me come in and teach
Isn't
their
that the way,
teams
man?
how to do customer
Businesses,
service.
they're the ones
I
that have
got
all
the
the
money
money.
now.
I
I
know.
got all the money, so I'm going where the money is.
Right. Dude, that's
Mark.
amazing, dude. That's awesome.
A lady I work with sees me work these rooms as the Mad Hatter, and she's like, "Hey, a friend of mine is a corporate speaker. Let me show you his videos." And he was pretty funny, but she's like, "You're way funnier than this guy." I was like, "Oh, all right, yeah, why not? Let's do it." So, that's coming out. Writing a book, like everybody does, and
Are
so I
you
can
really?
sell the book to the people. Yeah, it's almost done.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
service. I don't know how this became me plugging my shit. Service unscripted is what it's
I
called.
love it.
Using
Yeah.
I
improv and
love
customer
it.
service.
Service
What's it
what?
called?
Service unscripted, using improv and for customer service.
You just send me a copy, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You
Thank
can buy it on Amazon,
Oh.
like everyone
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
All that Discord room.
Yeah,
right.
available now. Well, see, that's just it. Is I don't want people out there to go buy it. I want the company that's hiring me as a speaker to buy 500 copies to give to their employees.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
That's what I want.
That's the
I
real
don't
gig.
care if you buy it. Yeah. Put a little bit of thought to this.
My plan is starting to come
So what book can we
together.
write? What sequel can we ghostwrite for you so we get in on this?
Oh
So
shit!
I feel like the book writing is the thing, huh?
Using improv to trade stock futures.
Yes-anding the market. Took my stuff. Yes, and.
Yes, and may I have some more?
Yes, sir, may I have another?
There's more where that came
Right.
from. Oh, you took one stop. Watch
Right.
this. I'll give you another one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be me getting principal detention. I mean,
Yeah.
I actually do have a legit trading book or legit book to recommend for trading.
yeah.
So this came from Sean called Don't
Shoot the Dog.
The Art
And
of
what's
Teaching
the dog?
and Training, the Secrets of Changing Behavior in Pets, Kids, and Yourself.
Oh,
So it's literally if you have a dog that's where it started from is if you have a dog that's misbehaving, don't shoot it, actually train it. And
That's how you got bit. I don't believe that book.
no,
You're
no,
standing here with a-
no.
You have a dog bite on your hand.
All right, I bought this book a few weeks ago when I was dealing with my dog that was biting people.
Oh my god.
But yes.
Oh, that wasn't your dog. That's right. It was
Yeah,
a random.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay,
no,
you're off the hook.
legit
Just don't
though.
shoot your own dog. Shoot everybody else's.
Oh yeah. But no, legit. She started working professionally as a dolphin trainer, and training dolphins is really interesting because you can't punish dolphins. The only thing you can do is reward them. You can't hit them. You can't yell at them. The only thing you can do is reward them. So you have to learn how to train them through positive reinforcement only. And the book
I'm
is
not doing
originally
that
from
with
the
my
90s.
kids. They suck enough as it is.
It's a really interesting study that was done by the Israelis, I think it was, when they're measuring the performance of their fighter pilots.
No political.
This is not political. This is all has to do with positive reinforcement, and where the study came from is they misunderstood reversion to the mean, the concept of that. So they drew the incorrect conclusion that positive reinforcement leads to poor performance following up from that, and they drew the conclusion that tough love was better, But what they really didn't understand was that when you're positively reinforcing someone for performing above their average, they're more likely to perform at their average the next time. So it just seems like a drop in performance.
And they also didn't know the bit about doing random reinforcements, random intermittent rewards.
I've never heard of that one.
Random
Yeah,
intermittent
tell me more about
rewards is
that.
really key around behavior training. So if you don't reward a behavior every time. When you first start to establish a behavior, you reward it every time. But then you just start randomly, like every fifth time. Okay, we'll reward it. Oh, okay, you did 10 perfect jumps in a row. Okay, cool. We'll reward that one. Or you did 13 jumps and this one was the highest of them all. We'll reward that one.
Right.
And so this is all comes from Skinner. Remember your
Yeah.
high school, college
B.F.
psychology
Skinner.
stuff. Skinner. Yeah, B.F. Skinner. And so what they learned is that if you reward every time and you just build this behavior. So this was like, dogs or cats, pressing a button and they get a reward, or monkeys. Well, the moment you don't get a reward, they kind of stop pressing. But if you start doing random intermittent rewards, they'll hit that button 1,000 times hoping for that one. That's how slot machines work. Random intermittent rewards is what gets you addicted to slot machines. Random intermittent rewards can get you addicted to gambling through trading. And
Exactly what got me addicted.
There's a lot of similarities in there that you have to be really careful about. But what's really relevant going into the book, what she talks about is that if you want to learn a new skill, or you want, either you learn your own new skill, you want to teach another person or an animal a new skill, it's really critical that you only do one thing at a time. So think about futures trading. You've got to work on your entries. You've got to work on your exits, your setups, your stops. How do you take profit? Where do you take profit? And the problem is there's too many variables. You can't learn it.
That explains why the trading drills are so big.
When you listen to a lot of the old school traders, how they learned, especially the ones that went to work for the big investment banks, they were shoved in a room, and for 2 months, all they did was enter stop. And, and their goal was, 2-year flippers talked about, he did like 2 months of training where his goal was to be flat
right?
every day.
Yeah.
And so you go through that, you build that muscle memory so that you can get in a trade. And the second it goes against you, flatten out and have no emotion. You're not attached to that trade. You just learn that. You learn that process. And then once you've got that part down, then you can start to learn into, okay, we got into that trade. As soon as it moved away from our price, we've got our stop in. Okay, cool. Now we're going to work on, let's build waiting for our target. And then once we've got that behavior down, that we know how to enter the trade, we know how to stop it, and then we know how to wait for our target, then we can start to learn, okay, let's move our target here, move our target there, and start to learn some of the nuances about where to place our targets. And that way you can learn these things sequentially in a more productive manner, rather than trying to haphazardly learn them all at the same time.
See, when I try to bake a cake, I just throw everything into the pot all at once and just try to mix it together as fast as possible.
It's just not working.
You saying that didn't? I mean, I get something.
You will get something.
Something came out of it.
Edible?
No one wants to eat it. But...
Depends on how you define edible.
All right. Sorry, I got all serious there.
No, that was
fine.
good. We actually discussed something trading
How dare
related. Check that off the box. This doesn't have to be an after hours.
Check. All right. Back to hilarity.
Fuck. Hilarity on demand. Go.
Improv?
Oh,
Conway
wow.
Twittery, play us off.
Improv.
I think we have to fall back to our senior bosun's mate.
Right? Oh, God damn it. Don't you dare.
Oh, yeah. God
That's
damn.
a fucking nuke, dude. I did more than tie fucking knots.
God. Okay. Hey, did I ever
you gotta
tell you
polish
about the
the whistle.
time Kyle and I used to share an apartment, and
God.
I opened the door and there he was, like, and I was like, Kyle, and he's like, shut the door, and I'm like, dude, get inside.
Dude, what's wrong with that patio? It was awesome, man. It was sunken in. Nobody could see. You could make eye contact with every neighbor that walks by.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, God.
Whoa, my gosh. Where is this going to go on? Where is this going to
That's
be
the only.
filed?
That's
This
the only
is-
joke I know. And when it comes to a
Oh.
joke that's preformed, that's the only one I know.
He's been sitting on
I
that
stole
one
it
for
from a
4
comedian.
years.
4 years.
Oh, God. Like my favorite one from my school days was, someday I really hope to die peacefully in my sleep, like my grandfather, not screaming and crying like the passengers in his car.
Oh, God. Ugh.
Exactly. All right. Hey, I've got a nice clean one for you. Why did the fish blush? Because it saw the ocean's bottom.
Aw.
Nah, my daughter would love that actually.
Yeah,
if
where's-
it-
I'm
no,
going to write
be
that
like,
down.
Dad made that up.
Here,
Write that down.
here.
Dad made that
Baba,
up.
here, tell her this one after that. What's sticky and brown? A stick.
Mm.
Mhm. God damn you.
She should like that one.
Noted.
All right.
I love that.
What else we got? When are we gonna get Banks on here? We need to hear the story of this tornado.
This is true.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't
Is
know.
Banks in a tornado?
Yeah, it was golfing. He said they thought about hanging out under a tree, and then decided, yeah, maybe we should go into the shelter. And then the tornado hit across the street from them, I think.
Yeah, it was
What?
actually insane. Yeah.
In St.
And
Louis, yeah.
I mean, what, like 14 people died or something? I mean, it was
was gonna
like,
say
Is
that.
up to that now?
It was just
God
very,
damn.
it's very
Yeah.
tornado.
That's
That's a big
fucking
one.
deadly.
It's the big one that hit St. Louis not too long ago. And then Baba was in a hurricane like, 6 months ago? You were in that one in
Yeah.
South Carolina, the one that hit Asheville.
yeah.
Oh,
It was-
wow.
Yeah. It was wild.
Yeah, we
It
had
was
like this whole disaster show like going on.
Yeah.
We had reporting on like every major thing that was going on.
Yeah, we were all just living through it. I mean, it was like 2
It was
weeks.
like a
I mean, it
season,
was like
yeah.
10 days, no power or something like that. It was wild, man.
Right.
We were living like homesteaders out here. I loved it. Actually, I loved it. It was wild.
Did they get the road fixed to your dad's house yet?
My in-laws, not really.
Damn.
Were you doing Little Baba on the Prairie?
Yeah, little Babas, all five of them, dude. Everybody, they were like washing. I mean, no joke. I think I posted pictures. I don't think I still. I mean,
Oh.
probably on my phone, but like we washed clothes in like buckets in the drive, like outside of the garage with like sticks, and like
Yeah.
rinsed them in the hose, and I hung a cord up in between the deck and the a tree.
Old
And we
school.
hung all the clothes up to dry. I mean, it was insane, dude. It was, but
Wow.
it was like like for my personality, I love like a good challenge. Like I love to problem solve something, and so when that was all happening, yeah, like there's two options. Like, oh, just we're gonna stay at home and be afraid and cry, and like everyone's just in peril, or like I can figure out a way to make like to as best I can to like mitigate these circumstances for my crew, and the people close to me, my neighbors, people across the way.
There's a third option of looting, but you can skip that one.
Yeah, well, I'm probably not gonna do it. Probably not gonna
Wow.
pull that. But so, dude, there was some. I mean, like, yeah, my wife was nervous about the whole thing. I wasn't, and then when it happened, I was like, holy. When the tree fell on our house, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
we probably this is pretty serious. And then
This
of
is
course,
real.
like, yeah, we go outside shortly thereafter, and like it just looks like a bomb went off. That's what everyone always says. But like it was crazy, dude. So I had this whole pattern I figured out that if I like the gas stations didn't have gas, but if you like there's one close to us. If I got up, I woke up one day randomly, like 4:30 or 5 in the morning, and I was like, well, I wonder if the gas stations have gas right now. So I like loaded up my cans, drove my car, no line, no one there, just the workers.
I cannot believe that worked.
I filled everything up. I come back. I'm like, all right, if this works today, then like in 3 or 4 days when we need more fuel for the generator, I'll just try that again. So I had this like every other day I would go get like just 5 gallons. So I always had an extra chunk of gas. But it was always at like 5 in the morning. It was like my little routine. I would come back, get everything ready, fire up the grill, cook breakfast on the grill, invite the neighbors over, because we have some one specific neighbor is pretty elderly, and we like really, now he's like the grandpa across the street. Like my kids just they like
Yeah.
he ate like for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. He ate every meal with us, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It was unbelievable.
That's
So there's some
awesome.
really cool
I love that.
community stuff that
Absolutely love
happened
it.
for us. And
Yeah.
like, but yeah, it was a wild. But I love that. Like I told my wife when like everything got back to normal, I was like, God, this kind of sucks. Like, you want to like load up and like go homestead somewhere? Like,
No.
How close are you to like the Appalachians? Because there's some, you can get some places to homestead. out
oh
there,
man,
can't you?
I could be to some like 30 minutes. We could be like in a, as they say down
Remote.
here, we could be in a holler somewhere that no one would find us.
I read a nice article a few years back, written by a neuroscientist who went camping with a bunch of other neuroscientists and neuropsychologists, and they found themselves after camping for a bit that their perception of time shifted and slowed down.
Hmm.
And I don't know if that's what it was like for you, but I can imagine like the stress of trying to go back into a world where nothing stops. Like you're living in this world where like you're forced to stop. You're forced to slow down and be like, what are you going to do? There is chaos and destruction. You have to wait for it to be rebuilt and turned back on. And then all of a sudden, like now it's just like, hey, it's all back on. Hop to it. Come
Yeah,
on.
that was weird. And what's weird about that too is like where my my wife's parents live was definitely hit much harder than where we are, but it's only like 45 minutes away. So even now, like there's temporary bridges, 1-lane roads, bridges that are still out, like people's whose homes washed away haven't been rebuilt. Like it's for them, for a lot of people, the kind of burden of this is extended deep into like their life to where it's like now it's part of normal. Like yes, they have power and water and stuff like that, but like life and even just their like the view from their home and like driving to their house or whatever, like everything is just different. It's been the same for 80 years for these people, and now everything is different. It still looks like a construction zone everywhere. It's a nightmare. So there is something about the way that it ended for us, but for them it just still lingers. And I think that eventually that starts to take a toll. I think, especially like they're in their 80s. Like,
Are you
life
still
is
needing to
tough.
dole out supplies from the cash that Flary gave you, or have you gone through all those finally?
Oh no, dude, we made like two. Well, we made some like what we called like drip deliveries. So he sent like an 18-wheeler full of stuff. Him and his partner up there, like a business partner, and we would take like a couple truckloads at a time to because at one point everyone was like really overwhelmed with supplies. That was like almost a problem. Like, where do we put all this stuff?
Yeah.
And distribution was the challenge. And then so we like very targetedly delivered like only things that we knew people needed to the people that needed them. Like, take your truck and take it there. So we did that for probably 3 months, and then 4 months maybe, and then like the inflow of stuff started to wane a little bit, and so then we found a couple of places who had some bigger needs, and we took like big U-Haul trucks, like
Nice.
crammed a U-Haul truck,
Yeah,
put
yeah.
like 6 pallets in there, take that. We did like 2 or 3 of those. I have a local buddy of mine who's a business owner, and like took a bunch of his guys, and like they just loaded with forklifts, like loaded a bunch of pallets in a bunch of trucks, and we had some specific spots to take those bigger loads. But at this point, like supplies and stuff like that, it's not really like that massive burden anymore. But yeah, it's more like we raised some money for them. There was like a need for transportation to get supplies to people, so that I had very little to do with this. I mean a little bit, but like a bunch of guys put a bunch of money together and bought a side-by-side 4-wheel drive ATV with like a big bed. I don't remember the brand or style, got a great deal from a local supplier, and then delivered that to like the community church, like right in the middle of that town that was hit so bad. Like we gave it to them, and they used that to drive stuff to people that are on these roads that are too messed up for like normal vehicles and stuff. So there's like, that's actually a really cool like continuation of some of the stuff that's going on. And then a lot of the money that we raised and that other people raised was put into a fund that they're managing to help people with their rebuilding process. Because what's really sad is like a lot of insurance, like a lot of people experience difficulty with insurance covering stuff. And so you have regular people who now have for the winter just stayed with family because their house was destroyed and it was too cold and nasty to work on. Now in the spring are coming back and they're having to tear their house down and rebuild it. And so you can spend $15,000 having your house demolished, or this money that was donated, that was like stewarded really well, is now like set aside to help offset the cost of,
oh dude, that's amazing,
of having some of that stuff done. So there's still really cool stuff going on there. All of that to say, like their situation, it continued. For us though, Dan, it was like this hard stop. It was like, now we have internet power, everything's back to normal for the most part. And trying to I told my wife, like, I don't want to lose some of the sense of like what life was like during that time, the connection to the people around us, like the pace of life for us, like the pace of life was really sweet. And, you know, we weren't on our electronics, you know, kids downstairs doing whatever, like we were all together doing a thing, like trying to fix something or trying to clean something out or trying to, you know, like there were all these jobs that we all had to do stuff. And so
it's awesome that everyone chipped in too. It wasn't just like mama and papa trying to get everything done. It sounds like all the kids were pitching in and helping out too.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, Joe, she's 5, dude. She's out there with like a broom handle, like, you know, sloshing the stuff, you know. I was like, dude, this is like a movie. Like, what are we living this crazy life?
You can't replace all the things your kids have learned in that process.
Off topic here, but I met Joe on a call that Baba and I were doing one. It was like maybe 6 months ago or longer.
It's been a while. She still talks about it.
She come out with a little wand and she's playing with this wand and she's trying to. I think she wanted to turn me into a worm. Yep. I had my OBS up, so I put a picture of a worm on there. When she waved the wand, I flipped my background to switch my image to that.
Dude, blew her mind, bro. Blew her mind.
I did it! Ow! I fucking wormed him. I knew I had the magic.
She got him. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so, and I think like I think they probably did. You know what I think some of the things I hope they took away from that is like when stuff is difficult, like when things get hard like that, you know, you do have like our family perspective could be like just me and mine, and we build a wall around ourselves. Shout out Trump. And like we just take care of just us, and we're very inward focused, right? But during that time for us, there was the kind of opposite, like what we didn't necessarily intentionally model, but in retrospect kind of modeled was like that the people around you are valuable, and like we have to care for them because we have more, maybe we have more means, or we have more strength, or we have more capacity to like, and so we can, even in a moment where we feel like we have needs, we can still give like and help the people around us.
And the other really cool takeaway from that too is just knowing that when the shit gets like hits the fan and gets tough, like, you know, your family knows that they can step up, right?
You
don't have to fear a life-changing event anymore because you know how you're going to react.
I hope
you know
so.
what?
I mean, yeah.
And in those times, and this is why I still have faith in humanity, because in those times, nobody's checking your political affiliation.
Yeah.
Right? We're all just humans trying to get through this together. And I still have hope that we'll figure out that that's what we need to be doing, like on a global scale. I hope it doesn't take aliens attacking to get there, but you know,
it worked on Independence
humanity
Day.
to get there. Right? With the
and
Watchmen.
yeah, and honestly, that's when I moved into this county and became a part of this community, it
Yeah.
was so refreshing because I'd come from all these different big city backgrounds, and it's like to actually move into a community where people know each other and help each other, like Bob was talking about. It was
Yeah.
just so refreshing, and I just love it. I love that. Yeah. I call the sheriff's office. I know the person on the other side of the phone. I walk into the hospital. It's like, oh, hey, there's my doctor. Oh, I know the other
You
doctor. I
know,
know this deputy. But we all
when,
work together.
yeah, when people get to be anonymous, that's when they can be shitty. I spent a
Yeah.
year in a
God,
small
right?
town
Amen.
in Colorado, and that was the beauty of the small town. I mean, there were still assholes, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like in
yeah.
the small town, it's still like that guy's
Yeah.
a
My,
drunk,
my,
that
my,
guy's
my
an
neighbor right
asshole.
there is a giant
But
I'm an
asshole.
asshole.
but
I mean,
but there's no anonymity, so
Yeah.
most people fucking behave and treat each other kindly and help out because there's an unconscious pressure of, wow, if I treat this old lady like shit, it's going to get back to my mom, it's going to get back to my boss, it's going to get back to everybody. But like you get
Yep.
to a big city, nothing getting back to nobody. So
yeah.
like, oh, sucks that you're suffering. Ah, well.
Yeah.
Do, do, do.
Yeah.
Almost, but maybe that's too cynical. It's to the point where, having spent some time, like when
I've
I was
seen
out
it.
in the Bay Area, you can't help everybody because then all of a sudden you're overwhelmed and you have no resources anymore. You're taken advantage of, and then you don't help yourself, right? Because
Yep.
you're trying to
Right.
help everybody, right? Like a
Yep.
lot of times in the big city, that's where I came across like, dude, I want to give you some change for food, but if I literally have been stopped by 20 people and I don't have any change anymore, and now I'm
Yeah.
not eating lunch.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
And,
Right.
what?
and
Ah!
yeah. I mean, you got to set healthy boundaries, and you got to learn
Yeah,
how to say no. And
yeah,
trust
We
but
me,
all
I mean
just
it's
need
that
to
the
that
leave the
is
cities and move
not
to
easy.
small towns. That's what we all need.
Well,
you
you
know,
know,
it would have saved Rome too.
thankfully,
Right? If we all
thankfully,
just left
most
Rome,
people,
moved to
thankfully,
the
most people
suburbs.
don't
Move to
want to
the
do it
country.
because they would fucking ruin it if they all moved out here.
What's that?
They can stay there.
Rome?
They can stay
N-
there.
No, no, all the New York City people moved to
Oh,
Montana.
whoa,
You
whoa.
don't.
You don't want
You
that?
don't want your population swelling to 60,000 from 600?
Right.
Trust me. Bose Angeles is about 98 miles that way.
Oh
They
my
can
God.
stay there.
I thought you said,
Bose Angeles.
Yeah, Bozeman,
I thought you made
Montana.
another
The
Bosun
Los
joke.
the Los Angeles of Montana. Yeah, Bozeman. Bose Angeles.
All right, fellas, we're getting close to the hour mark. I think we made an episode here, and I think we actually had a nice ending point there with a nice altruistic message. So I don't know what you guys think, but maybe we should wrap this thing up.
Community, man. It's
We can all
awesome.
just
I got
And
another hour in me. I don't know.
I'm sad to see Vanta shifting into its next phase. But I love the community that you guys have built. I really
the
appreciate it.
community's not going anywhere. I think that's the
I
main
know it's not.
takeaway.
Hey,
That's the cool part.
Yeah.
I respect you guys so much for being able to like acknowledge, oh shit, this is where we're at. God, you know what? We have to turn off this subscription thing. Like being able to recognize that, to me, just shows your integrity and why you should be trusted and why you can be trusted. Like seriously, Baba, seriously, your microphone's off, man.
That's because I was clicking around. I'm sorry. What I was saying is, um, well, I appreciate that, because I think all the sparkly stuff is what really kind of gets a lot of people's attention, and I just I can't function like that. Like I'm too normal of a
The
person, dude.
stuff you
I
have
feel-
to
I feel like,
share
yeah.
to get people to interested is the stuff that's not helpful for their development.
And it's just gonna draw the wrong people anyways.
Yeah, to be fair, not all people, and I don't want to wholesale indict everyone who whatever. It's like I get it, like it's just for us and for me. This was a fun journey. I take a lot of positives away, met cool people, helped folks. I hope, and I'm still around, and we're still going to trade, and we're still going to be in the room, but it's going to have a different vibe. because it's not going to be there's not going to be this giant commitment, which is going to free me up. The other thing that, like, I messaged Flary and told him about this, and he was like, "Oh man, I hate that because you guys were freaking unbelievable." And I was like, "Well, dude, I mean, that means like I appreciate that, like, because I hope that the time spent wasn't wasted, you know."
Yeah.
But to your point, Dan, I appreciate you saying those kind of things because, yeah, I mean, like, I guess I could sell my soul and turn into one of those type of people, but like, I mean, that the thing is,
Not
like,
worth it.
how weird would that be? Because everyone that knows me, they know who I am and what I'm like, and so how could I go be something completely different like that? You know,
The dude who just told us that hurricane story is not the same dude who's going to be shilling.
Buy my crypto coin. Buy my
Listen,
crypto
let me
coin.
show you 500% gains every day. If you're not hitting 500, you're a loser and you need to die. Come join my fucking subscription service.
You could do some commercials for me. Actually, we're gonna boot it back up. I think
can
you
I
nailed it.
Can I make a short out of that?
Please do. It's all you. It's all you, buddy.
I'll send it to you.
I signed the waiver at the beginning of the podcast. Yep.
All right.
Well, every subscription comes with a Lamborghini and a unicorn.
Of course.
Yeah. Just you can see little Joe for
Shipping and handling applied. Yeah.
You just got to bring your own car and whatever else it was, and she'll wave her wand and switch it for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
You never know. She's magical. Ask her.
Well,
She'll tell you.
We'll send you a box of crayons.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just supply your own paper.
All right, folks. I think that's going to do it for today's episode. So please join me in thanking Baba Yaga, Bear Goes Long, and Captain Dan for joining us tonight. Please do that by clicking on any of the links in the show notes. You can subscribe to Half Cocktails, help Dan get that thing launched again. And you can also email me guest suggestions at ChinaShopProductions@gmail.com. We'll be back soon with another exciting episode. But till that day, like, share, subscribe, all the things, and have a green week.
Woohoo!
This podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute financial or investment advice and should not be construed as such. The hosts, guests, and contributors of this podcast are not licensed financial advisors, brokers, or professionals. Any trading or investment decisions made based on the content of this podcast are solely at the listener's discretion and risk. Trading and investing in financial markets carry inherent risks, and past performance is not indicative of future results. Listeners should conduct their own research and seek advice from qualified financial professionals before making any financial decisions. The views, opinions, and information shared in this podcast are those of the individual contributors and do not necessarily reflect the views or policies of the podcast creators or associated organizations. Produced by China Shop Productions.